Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Clay Loves Logic, where on this channel I solve logic-based Sudokus I find interesting. Today we're going to be looking at the puzzle Dutch Flatmates MinMax Quads by Sujoyku. And as always, I'll put the link to this puzzle in the description. With that being said, let's get into the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Each row column and 3x3 box have to contain the digits 1 to 9. We know this. Dutch flatmates. Okay, this is a rule set we haven't done on this channel yet. I've done in other puzzles though. So each 5 in the grid either has a 1 directly above it or a 9 directly below it. It may have both, but it doesn't need both. So what that means is if this is a 5, either one of these, either this would have to be a 1 or this would have to be a 9. Or they all could, but there has to be at least one of those constraints met. And then min-max quads. Digits in a circle must appear in one of the 4 surrounding cells and either be the lowest or the highest digit in these 4 cells. If there's no conflict with other rules, digits around a quadclube may repeat. In particular, the minimum and maximum may appear more than once. So what that means is, in this box here, there's a 2 and a 9 for sure, and then the other digits are just somewhere between that, which isn't very restrictive. But if you look somewhere here, all of a sudden, that's pretty restrictive, because this can only be 5, 6, and 7. So there's one digit that repeats at least. Well, no, there's only one digit that repeats. There'd be a 5, a 6, a 7, whatever it is. What else is interesting here? 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't have to be 2, 3, 4, 5. Could repeat. But what that tells us immediately, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Because, oh, sorry. It's in one box of Sudoku. Of course it can't repeat. Yeah, that's silly of me. This is a box of Sudoku. This will be from the digits 2, 3, 4, and 5, which means this 4, 8 clue will be satisfied with a 4 there. These cells will be the other digits 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. What else is interesting? I'm trying to find like the smallest differences. Here's another, this is only from 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, digits could repeat. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe that's interesting. Okay, maybe we turn our attention to the Dutch flatmates. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Before we pencil mark all this in like crazy, let's think about the Dutch flatmates. There's definitely a 5 in this box. There has to be. Now, the Dutch flatmate constraint says that there's either a 1 above the 5 or a 9 below the 5. Well, there could be a 5 here, and we could have a 9 above or 9 below it. That's fine. We could also have a 1 here if we needed to. But where this is interesting is precisely this box. This box is now interesting because no matter where the 5 is, if this is the 5, we still can't put a 9 below it. So in fact, this couldn't be a 5. The 5 has to be up here. Yeah, the 5 has to be up here, which means the 1 has to be up here, which means this can no longer be a 1. 1 second. All right, we're back. So what was I saying? Okay, so there could either be a 5 here or here. That's fine. But actually, look, this can't be a 5 anymore because we could never satisfy the 1 or the 1 above it or the 9 below it. So there's always a 5 here, which means there's never a 5 here. So 5 is always in this box. It's always in one of 2 positions, which is interesting because it removes this ability to be 5. And so there is a 5 here, which means there's a 1 here. And that's going to give us our first digit because of this. Wait. No, it's not. Sorry, there doesn't even have to be a 5 on this. I was thinking, okay, so the 5 has to, if there's a 5 up here, it's in this cell only, getting carried away from it. Yeah. Okay. Where do we look now? Well, actually, look at this now. No, never mind. I'm just going to speak absolute nonsense. Ignore me. Well, I mean, this is a 6-7 pair, which is at least interesting because that'll give us a 1-8-9 triple, which will remove this ability to be 1-8 or 9. So we have a 6-7 pair here that goes with, so we have a 5-6-7 triple. Now, what does that say about the other digits? Well, we need a 9 somewhere, and it can't be here because it can't be in this. Oh, and actually, this can't be a 9 either. Okay, so that's interesting, right? Because now we need a 9 somewhere, and I'm just thinking now, 9 could be in one of those positions or one of these positions, but that is it. These digits here have to be between, well, I think unless this is a 5, this can only be an 8. And this can't even be a 1. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's silly. We get a digit. We have an 8 there. So we have a 1-9 pair. This combination of digits, one of them has to be a 4. We have a 5-6-7 triple here. So this can't be a 5-6 or a 7. And we have a 6-7 pair here. So this can't be a 6 or a 7. So this is 4 and 8. This is 4 and 5. But what do we know about 5s? 5s are Dutch flat made. So if this is a 5, we need we need a 1 above it or a 9 below it. And we can't do that. So this is a 4 and this is an 8. I don't know if this is a 6 or a 7, but any of those options are fine. So now we have 3 digits left, and no, because this 2-3 pair isn't, or this 2-3-4 isn't a triple, so I'm not going to pencil that in. It could be anything. Okay, well, where do we go from here? What are these 3 digits? Well, I can tell you one of them's a 5, one of them's a 2, and a 3. And the one that's a 5 will need a 1 above it. Can't have a 9 below it. So it'll have to have a 1 above it. Okay, that's interesting, maybe. Maybe it's not interesting. But maybe it is. Where do we look next? We'll have an 8 over here, which is going to give us an 8 over here. Probably not interesting yet. We're a 5's going to be. There's going to be a 5. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, no, because that could be a 5. Never mind. One of these is a 5, one of these is a 5, one of these is a 5. Okay, fine. And then this one I really don't know because we could have ones. Well, I guess we couldn't have a 1 there. But we could have a 9 here. We could have. Oh, okay. Look at that. You can't put a 1 here because of this 1-6. The 1 has to be on this. And you can't put a 1 here because of this 1-7. So we can't have a 1 there, which means we can't have a 5 there, which means the 9 is somewhere down here. It doesn't necessarily have to be this one, though, right? This could be a 9, and this could be a 9, and there's still not issues. But for 5 placement, it is interesting because now we have 5s and 9s. Well, at least 5s. All the 5s are spoken for in this row. Because there's going to be a 5 down here, and there's going to be a 5 up here, and they're going to be alternating. What that does for us, I don't really know. But interesting. Okay. we go from here? Maybe this is a little restricted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it definitely has a 2, and it definitely has a 6. If there's a 5, how could that work? If there's a 5, we would need to have a 1 above it or a 9 below it. And these have full capability to be 9s. These have full capabilities to be 1s. I mean, I guess there's always an 8, 9 up here. And that gives us another digit, actually, doesn't it? Right? Because how can you put an 8 or a 9 anywhere in these 6 cells? The answer is just you can't. So there's an 8 always up here. So this is no longer an 8. And we only have one position left for an 8. It's that. I mean, that feels like a little bit of a win, I suppose. Not a huge win, but a win. That'll force an 8 down here somewhere. Okay, and there's an 8 down here somewhere, which means one of these 3 is an 8. Doesn't help me out tremendously, but it gives us something. There's always a 9 up here. So none of these are 9. None of these are 9. Okay, so this is an 8-9 pair, and this is a 9, which gives us a 1, which gives us a 9. Now, this now gives us a 1, and this has to be the 5 because of Dutch flatmates. Okay. Feels like a little bit of deserved progress. Pretty happy with that. I feel like this puzzle was tricking me a bit more than it should. So I'm happy to have a little bit of a step in the right direction in my thinking. And okay, let's think. We're always going to have a 1 and a 6 here, without doubt. And that's not a 1-9 pair, never mind. We're always going to have a 1 and a 6 here. Is this 1-9 pair valid? No, it's not. I've already said that. This could be any sort of digit. There's definitely an 8 here, though, now, right? Somewhere here. This, again, that's just like, doesn't really help me. Either of these could be 1. You know, like, what is this? Is this just a 7 now? This is an 8-9 pair. This doesn't look like it can be anything else, which is going to give us a 6, which is going to give us a 7. This is no longer 7. That's no longer 6. One of them is 5, and the 5 will repeat. Or sorry, one of them is 5, and then the other one will repeat. So now we have a 5, 6, 7 triple. That's a little better. If this is a 5, we would need a 1 or a 9. Yeah, that's or a 1, which is, again, that's fine. Yeah, that's I think that's fine. 7 now is in one of these spots. But 7 could be here too. So I'm trying to think, like, where are the 7s now? All right, there's a 7 in one of 2 positions here. And oh, this isn't a 7 anymore. We have a 7 here. This is a 5. So this is a 6. Dutch flatmate says because that's a 5, this is a 1. This is, I don't know what this is now, but it's at least not a 1. Neither of these are from 5 anymore. So this is from 5, and this is from 1 because of Dutch flatmates. And now we have, we have a 7 from the 6, a 6 from the 7, and now this is just from 2, 3, 4, and 9. But we have a 2, 3 pair. So this isn't 2 or 3. And now this isn't from 4 or 6 because of the 6. Okay. Oh, and now just by Sudoku, look, this is a 4. So we have a triple here now. It's going to be a triple of 1, 2, and or sorry, 2, 3, and 9. Yeah, it just sort of has to be, doesn't it? Okay, look, this isn't a 5 anymore. And we need a 5 somewhere here. So this is a 5. That can't be a 1. So this is a 9. This no longer has the ability to be a 9 because of that. This is not a 9 anymore. Oops, sorry, I meant to take out the pencil mark. Okay. We're gonna have a 1 somewhere over here, and look, can't be there. That can only be a 3. So now there's a 1 up here somewhere, and it's here. And that'll give us a 1 somewhere up here, but 1 could only be here. So this is a 1. And that's gonna do basically almost all the ones. Okay, well now where's a 1 here? Look, that has to be a 1. So that's a 1. This can't be a 1 anymore, and the 1s are done. All of a sudden. What are our 5s looking like? That's satisfied. This is good. This is good. We're gonna need a 5 somewhere. That's an interesting thought, right? Look, where do you put a 5 in this box? Well, a 5 has to have a 1 above it or a 9 below it. And we can't have anywhere in here where a 5 could go other than here to satisfy the fact that we need a 9 below it. In this box now, we need a 5 somewhere where we can put a 9 below it. It's either of these spots. Either of those positions are fine. But again, what does that mean for this? Look, where do you put a 5 now? Well, remember, we can't put a 5. We can't put a 9 here. So we can't put a 5 here. So it's either 5, 9, which does work, or it's 1, 5. And interestingly enough, we need a 9 somewhere here that's not here. 9 could be in either of these positions, but that is the only place they could be. Okay. Where does the 9 go in this box? We said it's only up there. Well, this can't be a 9 anymore. But again, we knew that. Okay, what's next? Well, we need to have a 2 somewhere here. I don't think there's any restriction on where a 2 could be. But interestingly enough, if this is 2, this is 3, yeah, okay, that's fine. What kind of low digits can we put here? Basically anything? I want to say basically anything. Yeah. What is this digit? Do we know? Oh, sec. Okay, we're back. I have 20 minutes until I need to take my food out of the oven. So now let's ask ourselves, where do you put a 5 in this row? You know, it has to be somewhere here. And what we know about Dutch flatmates is you either have to have a 1 above it or a 9 below it. So this could not be a 5. It could be a 9 if this is a 5. And this could be a 5. But now what we've learned is 5, no, never mind. 5 could be in 3 positions here. Never mind. Never mind. I keep wanting to say something very silly in this puzzle. I keep talking nonsense. Okay, where do you put a 9? Look, we have to have a 9 in one of 2 spots in this box. It's in this row already. It's already in this row. It can only be in this or this row. And this is already a 9. So this is, in fact, a 9. That doesn't mean this is a 5, because this could still be a 5, but it's another digit. Okay, what about fours? And I don't know. Okay, sure. I don't know. Well, we know there has to be a 4 there. So there's no 4 here, at least. Then 4 is in one of these spots. It's just not really that interesting. And not the puzzles, Joyko. It's a great puzzle. I'm just the deductions I'm making, or I'm thinking where things could or couldn't be. It's just like, it's just not really. I'm not really. I don't feel like I'm making any useful deductions. I stare at the 5s more. Well, could this be a 5 now? And the answer is no. Of course, because you can't have anything above or below it that would satisfy the requirements. So there's no 5 here, at least. And this is not a 5. So we do get a 5. We're making a little progress. 1, 2, there's a 5 somewhere here or here. And actually, it is just here now because of this 5 that we placed. Have we done the 5s now? We got to be pretty close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's one more 5 to place. And it's here or here. And it's not here because of this 5. So this is a 5, which makes this a 9 by Sudoku. So we have a 2-3 pair, a 2-3 pair, a 4-9 pair. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on now. Okay. Here's a question for you. Where does a 9 go in this row? Well, it doesn't go here because it's outside the scope of those digits. It can't go here because of this 9. And we need a 9 somewhere in this box. So if this is a 9, you can't put a 9 anywhere in this row. So this is in fact a 9. That's not to say that this is a 2 because these are incomplete pencil marks, but at least we know that's a 9. This is no longer a 9. This is a 9. Okay, where do you put 8 now? In this box, where do you put 8? And there's only one spot you can put 8, and it's precisely there, which means somewhere in the middle here is an 8, and it can't be this. So this is an 8, which will give us a 7, and it'll remove this one's ability to be an 8. So now an 8 could be in a few different spots, but actually, I'm gonna claim it can't. Because this is a 7-8 pair that's true, and this is an 8-9 pair that's true, all 8s are spoken for in these rows. This is an 8, and that's an 8. And that's going to do the 8s for us, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, not quite, but we know where they are at least. So these are digits between 1 and 6, and 1 has to be a 6. So one of these is a 6 for sure. And the others could be from 2 or 3 or 4, but that's it. 2, 3, 4, 6. So what else do we need? We need a 7. And the 7 could be. Okay, well, this can't be a 7 because of this 7. We need a 7 in this row somewhere. It's only here. This is 2, 3, 4, and 6. And it can't be a 6. So this is from 2, 3, 4. So this is a naked single, and it is a 6. If I could get there with the pen. So this is not a 6. This is only 4 or 7. And this is not a 6 anymore. So this is a 2, 3, 4 triple in the cell. What is this? Just 2, 3, or 4. But there's always a 4 up here. So it's not a 4. So this is a 2, 3 pair. This is a 4. Neither of these are 4. This is a 2, 3 pair. One of these is 4. But again, where do you put a 4 in this row? One of these is 4, so it's not there. And this is 4, so we get a 4. And one of these is going to be 4. One of these is going to be 4. Don't know which yet. 6 is interesting. Where do we put 6? Guess it could be in any of those spots. What about a 6? What about 6s here? What can we say? Well, you know what? We only need 3 digits here. What do we need? We need a 2, 3, and a 6, and that's it. And I don't think there's any issue with any of that. Down here, we're going to need 2, 3, 6, and what? 7? So there's always a 7 somewhere down here. There's always a 7 in one of these 2 spots. There could be a 7 here. So what do I want to say then? 2, 3, 6, 7, and what? What's the other digit we need? Oh, geez, look, this is a 3/8 min-max. Oh my god, that has to be 2. Yeah. None of these are 3 anymore. So, and this is now a 2 just by the fact that we can't have a 2 on this. Neither of these are 2. This is a 3/6 pair. This is a 2/7 pair. And then this is just from 4, I guess. And 6. And that does resolve to give us a 4 here and a 6 here. This is now a naked single of 2. None of these are 2. This is a... Is that a correct pencil mark? This is a 7 now. Which would make this a 7. I don't know if that was a complete pencil mark. I feel like it might have been. Now we just get digits. 4, 6, 6, 4. Really? Okay. The 2, 3 pair says that's a 6. That's a 3. This is a 2. Oh, shit. What pencil mark am I missing? 2, 3. Don't know how I pencil marked that incorrectly, but I did. 2, 7. This is a naked single of 3. This is from, oh, and that's going to give us a 2 and a 3. Oh, we need a 2 in here. So that's 2. That's 3. That's 2. That's 3. This is 9. This is 4. This is 2. This is 3. This is 2. This is 3. This is 8. This is 7. This is 9. This is 8. And we're going to need 4, which is here, and 1, 2, 3, 6, which is here. 29 minutes, 48 seconds. 220 people solved that in 23 days. Sujoyku, I did like that puzzle. I'll admit, I have not solved the Dutch flatmate rule set many times. It's been confusing to me to wrap my head around. So it was nice to sort of take this one down with the MinMax. I really like the way that the MinMax interacted with the Dutch flatmates. Very good puzzle. Thanks, everyone, and see you on the next one.